Hello everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me at the Rolling Oaks Open. Trying something a little bit different this time with my Challenge Circuit Design Contest playthrough series. We're going off to Brick Alley Country Club, which as you can see is the host of this week's Challenge Circuit event. So obviously I'm going to be trying to shoot as well as I can, but I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the course at the same time. I thought maybe this might be a bit of a fun way to do things slightly differently. And I guess maybe an efficient use of my time as well. I've got to play the course at some point. I've got to play the event at some point, so might as well do both at once. Um, BigHockeyGuy is a really interesting designer. Been on tour a couple of times, but congratulations on the tour spot again. This is set in Rhode Island, apparently one of the oldest courses, and one of the key features, he said, is that a stone fence or a stone wall can be seen on every hole. So that's obviously these, which is unfortunately been done in by the fact that they're now significantly easier to do um, with the new with the new fence options that can just be splined in. But we'll see how he's routed around them. So the forum post doesn't let me know what elements he's being judged on, so I can't really comment there, but I can still give my thoughts on the course while trying to go as low as possible. Yeah, starting with a par 5, really nice chance to open our account nice and early. Can get home in 2, slightly into the wind. Nice kind of almost a skyline green as well. Oh, pushed it into the hay. Sorry, made life a little bit difficult if I want to get off to a flyer. Especially with a chip like that. Missed the green. Caught the lip. But I really like this kind of town area down the side. I've mentioned it before in a few on a few courses. Like it really gives the location of the course a reason to be where it is. We have a very clearly defined boundary down this edge. It makes a lot of sense, and I like it. Rather than just kind of plopping our course anywhere in on the plot, we have a real reason for sitting where we sit. Short par 3 second. Long time viewers will know how I feel about those. But as far as a hole goes, it's certainly nice. Sits in a nice little environment. I like the planting down the right side. We're playing in the same direction as the first hole, which is often something that course designers try to avoid as much as possible. Trying to like add some variety early on in the round, but you can do it. There's no rule against it. And nice to get a birdie on the card early doors. Could easily be 2 under, 2 probably easier holes to begin with. But as we've seen, certainly not guaranteed. Made a bit of a hash of the first. Right, so we have the further left we go, the longer our approach is going to be. We're not even really blinded down the right, so what is our incentive for playing left? I'm not sure there is one. I can play here. You probably hit that slightly fast one that I usually hit, or hit it very fast, but still find the fairway. I have made it slightly longer than I planned to, but still a short to mid iron in. Green isn't too threatening, so maybe just slightly lacking strategically on that hole. I feel like I haven't played that all that well, and I've got a pretty good birdie chance. No good. Oh well. Stress-free par. Possibly missing something there, but that felt. I don't think I played it well, and I don't think I deserved a fairly good birdie chance. Right, this one on the other hand, the further right we go, we get a lot more wide open fairway out here, but we're coming in down the down the slope a bit, so it's going to be harder to hold. This little tier in front means that we're going to have a bit of a tough time here to this pin as well. But probably an easier time holding the green and less likely to run off down this slope on the left of the pin. But I think I've got enough distance, especially down the hill, to carry this bunker. I like the little attention to detail as well. We have the gap in the stone wall in front of us. Quite a nice appealing view off the tee. And just about carried it, so got a bit lucky because I pushed it, but put myself close enough. I suppose that's an advantage that I've gained from being aggressive off the tee, that I have put myself close enough that I can hit a sand wedge. I've not hit it far enough though. I've spun it back down the tier. So yeah, I was in a good position to play a better shot than that. And then I've gone way too far with the chip. So sometimes you can design the best hole possible, and it's still it's only as good as the golfer plays it. So a bit worth bearing in mind that, especially if someone gives you some feedback that you don't necessarily agree with, there's every chance they just didn't play the hole very well, or they missed something. I know I'm certainly very capable of missing some kind of subtle strategy elements that would make holes play much better, much more accessible. For example, here, I mean, I don't think this is the play. I don't think I get it over that bunker to leave myself a short shot. So probably just worth laying up, but I might as well lay back to give myself a full club in. Put myself in the middle of the fairway. Shouldn't really put myself in a position where I'm missing the fairway there with a hybrid. Nice and wide open, and yeah, I've left myself pretty much a full sand wedge. Slightly with the wind, but slightly uphill. Can take just a little bit off it. So that's a little bit long, so I'm not playing all that hot. But I'm certainly putting myself in halfway reasonable positions. Really like this view back across the edge of the plot. Beach in the distance, planting on the left. We've got a little bit of contrast, a little bit of height to work with to add some kind of visual interest. Yeah, really nice. Nearly. So, yeah, not setting the world alight, but I've definitely put myself in positions. And I suppose that's kind of all you can ask for from a course. Can't be giving it away for free. Some holes, some easy holes, some hard holes. It's a good mix. This is a nice setting for a par 3 across this little cove. Kind of, we're just working with the green. I like the view of the lighthouse in the background. Not sure we desperately need these bunkers long. Maybe could have done something with planting there instead of the sand to add like a bit of visual interest. But I think the setting of the hole on its own is enough to kind of spark that interest. I think that's a pretty memorable hole in real life if you played something like that. And again, another nice view back across the coast. Hopefully we're not eating up all of the coastline. Oh, what a putt. Hopefully we're not eating up all of the coastline on the front nine. It'd be nice if we can return to it. It looked like there was a green in the background there, just beyond those bunkers, that we'll be coming back to at a later point. So that will hopefully be a nice view across the plot as well. Right, a long, slightly uphill par 5. Got kind of a little bit quirky, but I like it, that if we go down, if we take on these two bunkers, we have like a clear shot of the green. Whereas if we play safe down the left, we're potentially blocked out by this big pine tree. Which is it's not something you see on every course, obviously, but it certainly works. It's a little bit quirky. It's a little bit fun. I quite like it. And it also doesn't sort of remove the option of being able to hit the green in 2 here. It just makes things a little bit more tricky. We're going to might have to work a shot in around that tree. Whereas here we can just hit a straight shot. And I've pushed it, might hold the fairway, just into the light rough. In real life, might mean it's sitting up nicely for me to be able to hit driver off the deck, but as it is, I can probably rip a 3-wood out of here. The lie's pretty good, slightly uphill. And that's not a bad shot. It's just going to drift off to the right. But we're home in 2, or nearly home in 2. It's good enough for me. And a chance to make a score. Bit aggressive on the chip again. Chip's not been all that hot today. But we make the birdie at least. So we get to 3 under. And hopefully start the charge up that leaderboard. I really like the theme that he's gone with, making sure that we can see these stone walls across the course, and like it feels like they were there before the course was. We're obviously like old farmland or something that's been repurposed as a golf course, and I really like it. We've routed around them. Pretty cool. Right, drivable par 4, which is not driver. It's probably 3-wood. We're going long, we're running down here. This is maybe a little bit of an awkward chip back up. So maybe I want to miss more here. But I want to take the risk and go for the green. Especially into the wind. Hopefully he holds it up just a little. And a really nice skyline green. View of the ocean out beyond it. And nearly there. But this is, as long as we don't get too aggressive with this chip and run it through, we'll be alright. Yeah, maybe a little tentative and didn't really give it a chance. But another birdie. 3 in a row. And we're definitely making that charge. So, be interesting to see where the cut's at. And playing in a tournament, I'll get a bit more of an idea of how other people are doing. But obviously, the different flights will compete on the same event on the game. Coming back to the clubhouse at 9, that's really nice. Fits in with the environment. Bit of a walk-in, car park the other side of the road, but that's all right. We don't have to worry about that in the game. Nice view of the first down to our left as well. Just taking a little bit off the driver to make sure I keep it on the fairway. And a mid-iron in, slightly with the wind, a bit of a punch bowl helping us. Bit of a side hill lie, didn't quite give that enough consideration. Might need to get down. Looks like our run of birdies is coming to an end. But no doubt these rock walls across the course took a very long time. Didn't quite give it enough. But we save our par. So 3 under front 9. Might need to pick up, 4 under front 9, sorry. Missed one of the birdies. Might need to pick up some more on the back 9. The cut at CCD is usually around 10 under. So we'll see. I'm always prone to a bit of a blow up every now and then, though, so I'd like to give myself a cushion as much as possible. This is a nice, this is a North Berwick style green, just sitting just in behind the rock wall. Although I think at Berwick it's more of a hazard, very real chance that that you can be right up against it. And a decent shot. So I mean there is precedent for it in the real world. Obviously Berwick is its own bundle of quirk, but it is really cool, and it's always nice to see something a bit different. Obviously, you can see the same things over and over again. And it's nice when someone kind of just pushes the boat out a little bit and does something a little different. I'd say on greens like this, I don't really like these transitions where we kind of have the 3 surfaces meeting. I'd have a lap of fairway around the edge of the green all the way, because especially when we've got a pin here, we can quite easily see our ball. We may even see it with my shot, just rolling off the green and ending up in the light rough, like one revolution off the green. When in reality, if it's missed the green, maybe it doesn't deserve to be that close. Maybe it should be shorter grass, feeding my ball away a little bit, rather than kind of protecting a miss and saving me and giving me. I could be putting from just off the edge of the green, as good as on the green, and have a decent birdie chance. So I pretty much always use a fairway cut around the greens. 5 birdies in 6 holes. Starting to turn it on a little bit now. But that's just me. I know plenty of people don't bother with it. I think on this right side we just look a little bit cleaner where we've got that fairway cut versus on the left where we just go straight into the light rough. But yeah, it can be a matter of personal preference. Straight down the middle. A little bit of a side hill lie, but not too bad. Not the longest shot. Just add a tiny little bit to this wedge. Another infinity green. Really used that coastal kind of nothingness quite well with 3 or 4 skyline greens. Possibly bordering on maybe sort of overusing it, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you want to maximize the use of the ocean as much as possible. And that's a pretty good way of using it, especially when we're kind of further back inland as well. We can only sort of use the ocean in that one way as a backdrop. So that is quite a cool way of doing things. That needs a good kick. Got away with it. We'd have maybe been better off playing a little bit safer down the right. Well, I suppose that wouldn't have been safe, would it? That would have been closer to this run of bunkers down here. For maybe a better angle in, but then maybe we're bringing this mound into play more as well. So there's swings and roundabouts, and I'm noticing on a lot of the holes here that there's kind of payoffs for both sides quite a lot, which means that we don't necessarily have to. There's not really a hard side or an easy side, or a safe side and an aggressive side or whatever, because it feels to me at least that there's certainly one side might give us the angle, whereas one side might give us kind of more helpful contours, which again, not necessarily a bad thing. It can be fun to kind of give us different options and how we want to play the hole. This is a cool view, lighthouse in the background, again the coast and the sea sitting out there beyond the green. And yeah, like a little bit of visual trickery perhaps to kind of make us look like maybe we are closer to the sea than we are. But that looks quite good. That looks very good. Lovely shot. And roll in another birdie putt. So things are going pretty well now. Started quite cold, but I'm really enjoying these kind of panoramic views after the holes as well. The planting is the long grass is doing a lot of favours. I'd say a lot of the kind of sunken bushes and that they're functional. They're not kind of. I mean, this planting's quite good, I'd say, but some of perhaps over here in between the holes is functional. It fills up the space. It's not blowing me away, but I really like those panoramic views where we're seeing the areas of long grass, really heavy rough. That's a bit of fun. And I like this view down along the coast, particularly when we're closer to the green and we're seeing that par 3 again in the background, that beach down by the town, and maybe a drivable par 4. What are our options? If we're laying up, we're getting a really awkward side hill lie. I just don't want to have to splash out of this bunker down the hill. I'm not sure going for it is quite the right play, but I think it's probably worth the risk. I'd also maybe take out that bush that's sort of blocking the view of the bunkers. I've put it exactly where I said I didn't want to, but I get a lucky bounce. And it just about holds onto the fairway as well, so yeah, a little bit more luck than judgment involved there, but partly due to the fact that I wasn't really enthused by the layup option either, so I just felt like going for it was probably the better idea. I definitely did risk it and could have put myself in the bunker that I said I absolutely categorically didn't want to be in, but it felt like a risk worth taking that I probably could make a score from up around the green. Might have been worth just sort of flattening out the layup area, perhaps, maybe make it a little bit more appealing. Right. Here we've certainly got an aggressive side or a safe side, where the safe side leaves us a harder, longer shot in, still over this bunker, whereas coming in from the more aggressive tee shot route, we're not coming in over the bunker so much for a shorter second shot. I'm going to take the aggressive route. And I got away with it. A little bit of that push draw that I often hit. Probably not great that I have a push draw in a video game, but I can work with it. Like a little bit of a road hole vibe going on here. A little bit long with the shot, but nice view back across the plot again. And a chance at birdie. Pushed it. No, I didn't. Caught the lip and dropped. So that's going to be a very good birdie. That felt like it could have been a seriously tough hole. But I took the aggressive route and got away with it and had a wedge in, and it wasn't the greatest second shot, but was good enough and gave myself a chance. We kind of have the same shape hole again, where a gentle bend to the right, but if we're playing safer, we're more likely to bounce off the fairway down to the right, whereas in a way, the aggressive drive is also the safe drive because it's more likely to hold the fairway, although we are kind of slightly blind hitting left of these bunkers. But that's a pretty good drive, with the wind helping me carry it, and putting myself in a position where I can go for the green in two, hopefully just chase this up the front. Nice little bit of visual trickery again with that bunker that looks like it's sort of just fronting the green, but is in actual fact 50 yards short. Slight side hill lie, but nothing too major. And that looks good. Yeah, that's gone really nice. Eagle chance. The 59 dream isn't dead. And it rolls in. First eagle of the day. So a birdie up the last for a 59. Wouldn't that be fun? My first tour round on YouTube. And we go seriously low. And what have we got for 18? Nice that we finish with the consistent theming again, playing right up alongside the brick wall or the stone wall. I like that a lot. I like that it's angling us kind of towards the green as well. And we've got like a narrows thing going on. The further up we go, the narrower the fairway gets, but obviously leaves us a shorter shot in. I think I can get away with hitting a 3-wood and hopefully leaving a full wedge in. Maybe could have taken more off. Maybe could have hit a hybrid. This is probably leaving me a pitch rather than a lob wedge. But no, I'm going to hit a lob wedge. I might regret this, but let's see. Lovely view of the clubhouse, just sitting on top of the hill there as well, and a nice shot. What's pressure? This is pressure. Roll this in. And it drops. So, a lovely round. Finished 6 under through the last 5. Finished with 27 hits on the back 9 for a 59. So, a great round. That went significantly better than I could have ever expected. But I really enjoyed that course. I really liked the vibe that we had, the consistent theming of the rock walls. Um, I liked the visuals. I liked that we kept on having views over the coastline. I felt that perhaps maybe the strategy at times wasn't as fantastic as it could have been. There were a few kind of um, didn't really feel like it mattered which way we went. But maybe I just got lucky and picked the right options each time because I've certainly pulled something out there for a round like that. But anyway, congratulations for the spot on tour. Thank you for the round. Thank you for the great course. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to my next 3 rounds around it. Hopefully, I can go just as well, but I wouldn't hold your breath. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video and hopefully catch you over on a few streams as well. But until then, that's all from me. And that'll be bye for now.